Hello, this is Robert Flint, the owner of Baru Iron Gym. I'm here for another video in the Ask Rob video series. And today's question was actually, one of the members was asking about a new piece of equipment that we had in the gym. So what I wanted to do was kind of just show a video about what this piece of equipment was, what it does, and how they can use it. So that's kind of the intent of this video. It's kind of a tutorial on how to use the new piece of equipment. So we're going to go ahead and scan around the new machine. So what this is actually called a belt squat. So my dad actually made the belt squat himself from scratch, which is really awesome because it saved us a lot of money. And we actually got to add features that other belt squats don't have. So you come in a little closer here, and you'll see that on our belt squat we actually have platforms to the side, and we can actually fold these down. When we want to step on them, you fold them down, and the person can step up onto them. And when they want them out of the way, they just pull that up, put the pin in, and then the thing is set. So what that does, it allows us to be able to fold down these handles. So these handles actually come down, and you can use them for dips. So it gives us a nice thick dip handle, which is easier on the wrist than a very thin one. So we can push that up and get it out of the way. And also, if you scan up these columns, you'll see we have various handles for pull-ups. So you can do neutral grip pull-ups, wide overhand grip pull-ups, a bunch of different stuff. So you come on back down. So what we have is we have this set up to where we can do all of these with straight body weights, or it can actually use the cable attachment and do the weighted dips or weighted pull-ups if you'd like to. So general purposes of what we want this machine for is actually to do squatting exercises. So what I've noticed with clients that I've been working with recently, I have a lot of clients join the gym that were trying to rehab around certain injuries. So you might have had a shoulder injury, a lower back injury, something that kind of made it negative for us or a downside for us if we were to load their spine. So if we were trying to do squats and put a barbell on their back, it was too much. Their shoulders weren't healthy enough to get their hands back or just have any weight on them whatsoever. And even with the lower back, it was a little too strenuous. So in the gym, we also have like a leg press, we have a hack squat machine. But the downside of those machines, they don't actually allow you to use a lot of hip involvement. So if you think of a leg press, when you're sitting down a leg press, you're moving your legs, but your hips are staying stagnant. They're not really moving anywhere. So the benefits of a belt squat is we get loaded through the hips, and you get a lot of hip movement. So the first thing I'll show you is actually how to do what's called a box squat on our belt squat. So some of these names are going to get a little confusing. So we have a seat that is actually permanently attached to the machine. So it has adjustable holes here on each side, so you can adjust the height of the bench. So that way it depends on whether the person's 5 foot tall or 6 foot tall. You can get the bench height to be accurate for them. So all we do is we pull this lever back, we fold the seat down, make sure it's stuck in place, and now it's nice and tight. So now I'll face towards the machine, and I'll go ahead and set myself up. And when I do a squat, I can actually sit down onto the bench and come back up. One of the benefits of box squat is it allows people to get a wider stance, and they actually get better recruitment in their glutes and hamstrings than a traditional squat. So usually when people are trying to learn how to squat, they tend to squat very forward, and they'll push mostly through the quadriceps, or they don't squat low enough to get full recruitment in their glutes and hamstrings. So one of the benefits of a bench squat, a box squat, is to get them to get their hips back and get nice and low. So the first thing I'll do is actually position myself down onto the bench. So I'll sit down nice and low, and now I have my belt already hooked up to the cable. So what I'll do now is I'll place the belt around my hips, make it all the way around, and if you come up real close, you can see we have a cable attachment that comes out of the floor. We have this nice hook here. So basically just clip this in, and now the tension will be on me once I stand up. Right now everything's very loose because there's a handle right here that kind of controls whether the weight is on the weight stack or on me. So what I'll do now is as I come up, I want to make sure I pick up on the handle, and now you can see this part will actually move where the arms are, and we can add weight to it if we want to. And you'll see now when I squat, that'll kind of move up and down. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll get a nice wide stance, get my hands up. What that does, it keeps me in a nice, good posture for my back. I'll actually squat down, sit onto the box, and come back up. So I'll do a couple reps, and Paul will kind of scan around and show you how the machine moves around a little bit. So again, when I'm doing these reps, I want to make sure I keep my knees nice and wide. I lean back, sit back, make sure I push my hips back, get a good stretch and recruitment of my glutes and hamstrings. Then whenever I'm done, I come up to the top, I pull the lever, and what that'll do is it'll catch the weight, and now when I come down, this tension comes off my back. So again, I can detach, put the belt up on the lever, and then I can walk around and add more weight if I want to. So again, this is how we do our belt squats, box squats. So when I want this out of the way, put it back up, put it right there. So like I said, the other features we have real quick is I'll show you. I can put the platforms down on each side. Okay, we'll come around this side. So again, just kind of pull that out, set it down, put the pin back in. And now this is set to where if I wanted to dip, simply pull these down, and now it's coming aside over here. What I see is I can step up on the platform, get my hands ready, and now I'm in a good position to do this. Okay, then when I'm done, put my feet on the platform, I can step back down in a good position. So again, there we want everything out of the way. It all folds right back up for the next person to be able to use without anything in their way. So, some of the other features, if you want to stay right there. So, some of the other features we have is we actually have holes welded into here and here. So what we have that for is we actually have band pegs, or kind of like metal pegs we stick in here, and then we can put bands that will go through the peg around the weight load peg. So you can actually do reverse band work, or actually regular band work where it pulls down. So when we do our dips, our pull-ups, or our squats. So that allows us to get a little bit of a different accommodating resistance. So if someone's really strong at the top of the squat, you can put on some bands to make the top of the squat harder. Something like that. If somebody needs a little assistance on the bottom, you do a little bit of reverse band work, and that'll help bring them up out of the bottom. So again, this is a machine called Belt Squat. It's actually made by my dad. Sounds really cool. So that's some of the features for it, and hopefully you guys find this video helpful. And we'll be coming back around for more other videos to go through the gym, and as you have other questions. So again, you can check us out at our website, which is www.brutalirongym.com. You can find us on Facebook or on YouTube by searching Brutal Iron Gym. Okay, thank you.